I'll call to order the regular meeting of the Carrabelle City Commission. Today is Thursday, February 5th. It's 6 p.m. and we're in the Carrabelle City Hall chambers. Please stand for the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we stand before you again on this glorious day that you have provided for us. We thank you for those many gifts and blessings that you always bestow upon us. Tonight we ask for your wisdom and guidance as we move forward with the business of the citizens of Carrabelle. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Has everyone had a chance to look over the January 8th meeting minutes, January 22nd workshop minutes, and the attorney's invoices?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the January 8th regular meeting minutes, January 22nd workshop minutes, and the attorney invoices.
I'll second that motion.
That's a motion by Commissioner Pedrick, second by Commissioner Walden. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Do we have any public comment?
Ms. Daleen Seeger.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Daleen. I'd like to talk about two things that I just find concerning for our little town. One is the empty buildings that are just becoming more and more prolific. We are in a little building next to the museum, as you know, and then there's Bowtie. But I have to say that the amount of people that are now walking on the streets is much less than what it used to be. People would go up and down Marine Street, and then they would cross the street and go over on the other side, you know, where your store is and that. And it's disheartening. And I don't know if anything can be done with I know people don't want too much government. I totally get that. But at the same time, if you stay right on 98, 98 looks great from all the way from the beginning of our county to the end. You get off from 98, things deteriorate badly, especially in code enforcement and then the buildings. And you go into Apalachicola and it looks really nice. And I know there's more people there, I get that. But I was just wondering if there's something that could be done, letters sent. I don't have the solution. I just see the blight. And I am just concerned for our little town, especially when they're talking about bringing in big developments that are going over by the sheriff's department and possibly where the high school was, that we're not a destination town anymore other than for fishing. And fishing is a big thing, I get that. The other thing I want to just talk about just briefly is code enforcement. I went to a county meeting and everybody wants to pass the buck over, no, we're really not going to set anything up. We really don't have any real rules. And we take it case by case, and part of it is everybody's so afraid of being sued. I know that because they talked about that in the Franklin County Commissioners building or meeting. And there's got to be something that we can do without I know I was here, I don't know, it was a year ago when it wasn't a threat, but one of the suppliers for garbage pickup was not happy that the 3 years was up and you can't do what you think you're going to do. So I know we have a very smart board, and I know that y'all can come up with something.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments regarding that? Okay. All right. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Pedrick?
I have none, ma'am.
Commissioner Walden?
I have nothing tonight.
Commissioner Millender?
I have none.
Commissioner Gray?
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Okay, all I have to report this month is we are having First Friday tomorrow downtown. It's a lot of fun and it's not going to be hot and it's actually going to be nighttime. So definitely come out and support your local businesses, as Miss Daleen was suggesting, I think. It's from 5 to 8 p.m. every first Friday of the month. All right, next is staff reports, and first is our city attorney.
I have nothing other than what's on the agenda.
And our city administrator.
I do have something. Culture Crawl is going to be March 28th, and I'm asking that we close Marine Street from 98 to Avenue B, and Avenue B from right there at Marine Street to the BP. So,
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, the motion is by Commissioner Millender to close Marine Street to Avenue, from 98 Avenue B, and then Avenue B from Marine Street to the BP.
yes.
Seconded by Commissioner Pedrick. Is there any discussion? All of those in favor? Any opposed? And that motion carries.
And I just wanted to inform all of you guys that the mayor and I will be going to Tallahassee to the Capitol next week on Wednesday to meet with our lobbyists and have a meet and greet with our state officials. So,
And hopefully get us some more funding.
trying to get some money.
Good.
And that's all I have.
Thank you. And Ms. Keisha, do you have some dates for us?
Okay, we've got February 17th. Well, the 16th will be closed for President's Day. The 17th, we'll have a CRA meeting at 3:30. The 19th is a tentative P&Z. I don't have anything for it as of yet. And we will have our regular scheduled meeting for March the 5th at 6 o'clock.
All right, everyone got those dates? Okay, next is Mr. Russell Large with the Novia.
Thank you. Update for the Lanark West sewer improvement projects. The state awarded Carrabelle $2.9 million for additional work there. That would include the master vacuum station replacements, a much-needed project in that area. That vacuum station is very old. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal. We've also...
Thank you for your work on
Yes,
that.
sir. We've also got the change order number 3 to include some additional vacuum system on Newman Drive. Okay? For the cemetery, the bids were received today at 1:30, and we're recommending award to the low bidder, Duggar Excavating. I did want to point out their bid was for $65,000, and that includes the initial phase of the area there. That's the first 3 blocks, and our thought there is that that initial phase can be built quickly and finished. That way those plots can be available, and then we can proceed with the rest of that work as additional phases. But that will get plots established as early as possible. So just want to give you a heads up that additional work that we would change order at a later time would be on the order of $125,000 sum total.
You have a question?
Sure. For the 65,000 on that first phase, what work does that entail?
That includes grading for the entire area. So that's the mass grading plan for the entire area, seeding and mulching of that area, and then the roadway for the first phase. So that's a compaction of the base. We're using the geotextile fabric, similar to what we used at Keogh's Edition, if you remember that. Worked out very well. And then the gravel road installation. And so that connects out to Avenue C.
So geotech, then the gravel, or geotech, base, and the gravel?
Base, start from the bottom up. Base.
Correct.
Compaction. Geotextile fabric. Gravel.
Okay. Does that include surveying out the plots and identifying those on site?
No. In fact, the stakeout for the limits of the outer limits of those lots, it does. But the monumentation of those lots would occur later. We want the contractor to be finished so that he's not disturbing that area anymore. And then we'll have the surveyor go in and monument.
Which would
the
be
lots.
additional cost.
Yes.
Do you have any idea what that additional cost might be?
What the total to complete it would be.
Okay. Okay. The sum total for that whole area, I don't have a quote exactly from a surveyor for that, so I'm estimating here, but I think we're going to be in the 150,000 range.
On the first phase?
Yes. No. Well, that that would include all of the area that we agreed to construct. So that's from the roadway down to where we had the pavilion.
And that's what we're calling phase one, correct?
Yes. The price that we received today for the contractor, it's a portion of phase one. So I said phase one. We could call it phase 1A. So there would be phase 1A. That's the initial phase of phase one. That's the 65,000. Then that gets those plots established early, and then the remainder of the work can be done. And I think that's going to come in the 150,000 range.
Does that not include a fence that would be coordinated with what we currently have out there? Perimeter, not a perimeter, but along that roadway?
Right,
paved
along the
road?
roadway. That would that dollar number includes what I think that fence would cost.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
That's much more than I thought we had anticipated for that entire project. But anyway, thanks.
All right.
I got a question, if you don't mind. And that don't include the pavilion either, does it?
No,
The 150 would, yes.
Okay, it would. Now, you said the grading now is the entire area, so is that all of it or just phase one?
Phase one,
1A?
meaning not just phase 1A, phase one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The entire portion of phase one from the road to the pavilion. That entire area. Okay.
okay, let me make sure I understand. So you're saying in this first bid that the roadway is going to go beyond phase 1A into where the pavilion's gonna be, is that correct?
The mass grading for the area, yes. The gravel and the geotextile, no, that would be at a subsequent phase 1B, say.
Let's look at it.
I've got a map here. If it pleases the board, I can send this to Courtney.
Okay, I remember now. So just that first
Just the
square
first
is
block.
phase 1A.
Yes.
And the pavilion,
Yes. All right.
right there.
But all of it would be graded.
Yes. All of it will be graded.
The entire area that's been cleared is gonna be graded
Yes,
and seeded.
that's correct.
Which is included in this bid for 65,000.
Yes.
And then the geotech and the base material for the road is only gonna do, it's gonna go as far as phase 1A.
Yes. That's right.
We lost it.
I just sent you, yeah.
You gotta clear your server.
Page 4.
I was mentioning to Courtney, the reason why I was asking about the fence, Russell, I was a little concerned about security, not from theft, but from vehicular traffic going in there. Once we grade that and seed it, if we put our fence up along that roadway that's coordinated with the fence that's already out there, that would help secure some of that from vehicular traffic.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. It's-
Because, not that we have anyone that would do it, but we do have teenagers that sometimes like to spin donuts. Not saying they would, but it has happened before.
Okay.
And that was just my thought on trying to secure it a little bit with that fence along the roadway. But that was
Okay.
just my thought, Commissioners.
So it's my understanding from what Russell's saying, the $150,000 would complete this whole phase, everything.
Right.
The roadway, the pavilion, the fencing, the seating, and the monumentation and everything
Right.
for this whole phase 1.
And does that include the surveyor's cost?
Yes.
Okay. It's what I thought to begin with,
Okay.
that it would
That
include the
makes sense.
surveyor's cost. But
And I believe what you're saying, the 65 was this
Yes,
first.
that's right.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the land clearing and leveling of all of this, but only the seeding and mulching of this small area. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So if you go to page, what is this? Page 11 and 12, that shows the mass grading for the area.
That's page 11
Yeah.
Courtney,
and page 12.
Yeah, it's gonna stop right at that block, and that's what we agreed on.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions?
no, I just
regarding
want to make
this?
sure I'm clear on what he's saying, and he's saying that the leveling and mulching is gonna take in the entire area that we've had cleared.
That's right.
Okay.
Do we need a motion to accept the bid?
Yes.
Okay. Would anyone like to entertain a motion to accept the bid from Duggar Excavating?
I'll make a motion to accept it. I'm a little skeptical about it, but I'll make a motion to accept it because we really need to get it moving along. I would look to have that fence put in there, but it's already bid. Be hard to change that, but anyway, I motion to accept the bid.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Millender to accept the bid from Duggar Excavating. And we have a second by Commissioner Gray. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. And that motion carries. Are we, anything else about the cemetery? I know it's a lot and we've been working on this for a very long time, so,
Well, it's very imperative.
Yeah.
We're out of grave sites.
I know.
So,
Mm,
thank you, Russell.
Yes, just a note on the fence, our intent on the fence is to contact fence providers separately from the site work and get price quotes from them for exactly the product that we want that's gonna match the other.
Well, let me share
The
this with
fence.
you. We did that when if you remember, you were here. That fence that's up there, I went and had that quoted at Home Depot. We bought the material and our crew put it up. It saved a ton of money by doing that.
All right, that's a good option too.
Yeah. Our crew put it up, which the guy that was working with us, it's not that difficult to do, but the guy that was working on the streets and roads then was very adept to do it. And I think our road superintendent probably can do it if we chose to go that way. But anyway, it saved us a ton of money then when we did that.
All right, okay. On Baywood, we have the design survey in hand and proceeding with the roadway design there. On the sewer operating and maintenance manuals, all those are complete except for the power outage contingency plan, and we're working with Charlie on that one. On well number 5, DEP is still finalizing their agreement. They're telling us that should be coming in early March. So we'll be able to begin work on that as soon as that agreement between DEP and the city is executed. All right. The Carrabelle Sanitary Sewer Collection System Hardening Grant. This is the CDBG grant that's related to Hurricane Helene. This is a separate pot of money here, and this is for $2.6 million. And we had a welcome meeting with that group, and we're waiting for that final contract to be executed with the city. Resilient Florida, that's the vulnerability assessment and adaptation plan. That's for the drainage projects around the city. We had our welcome meeting with that group, and again, we're waiting for that contract to be executed. I will make a note. We did visit the 6th Street cross drain today with Courtney and Dustin. That's there's a sandbag retaining wall there that's begun to fail. There's a cavity that's developed, and I think it would be prudent for the city to do a temporary repair there, and ultimately that should be repaired under the grant money that we receive from this vulnerability assessment work. So what I would recommend is pressure grouting to make sure those voids under the road are filled, because we want to make sure that the integrity of the road is maintained. So if we can fill those voids, I think that would do that. I want to be careful though to say that doesn't mean that wall may fall the day after we put the pressure grout in. So there's always that chance. I don't want you to have the false notion that if we use pressure grout, it's going to hold for a period of time. We don't know if it will, but I think it would be prudent for the city to do that to make sure the integrity of that road is maintained.
And Russell, you was gonna have that geotech?
Yes. So we have a geotech who's coming to do some work at Baywood, and we'll have him come over and review this with us. But whatever's done there, we'll make sure we go to Courtney and get price quotes for it and let the city make the decision.
What is your opinion if we left it just like it is till we got the money to repair it? The road's not caving in right now.
It's not. It's not. There is dirt. Clearly, there's dirt that's being ejected from behind that wall. So there is some void space there, and the way the void spaces work, they fail from the bottom up. So if there's a void, the roof of that void will cave in, create another void. That roof will cave in, create another void above it, all the way until it reaches the top, and that's when the road caves in. So I don't know the answer. I mean, it might be just fine.
Well, the reason why I asked that is because I think I heard you correctly when you said if if you shoot the pressure material in there, it may blow it out.
No, that's not what it meant at all. It would fill the void. It would stop the sand from coming out from under the road. Yes, but I don't want you to think that by doing that wall wouldn't fail at some point in the future. We just don't know. It's a very old wall. Commissioner Walden said that was built when he was a kid, so not very long ago, but it,
A long time
It-
ago.
it could fail.
He's an old codger.
Yeah.
Would this temporary fix, would we have enough funding to cover this with this grant?
No, the grant, what the grant does is identify projects that
Right.
need to occur. So
Okay.
once those are identified, the adaptation
You're
plan.
saying we need to put that in the plan?
Yes,
Okay, yes.
yes. And then pursue grant money.
Yes.
And I've also, me and Russell talked to Dustin about going around the city and finding other culverts that
100%.
are in disrepair and have them added into the plan, so when the money does come available, we have all these.
That's the whole point of this plan, to
Right.
identify all of our issues so that when it's time, it's identified and it's easier for us to get the funding and faster for us to get the
Yeah.
funding.
Yeah, and there's a public involvement element to that also. I mean, we'll advertise a meeting and the public can come and they can let us know other problems that we may not be aware of.
What do you estimate the cost to be to do that temporary repair?
I think it's gonna be 5 to 10,000. I'm shooting from the hip a little bit.
I hear you.
And we don't know how big that void is, so the quantity of grout is not really known yet.
Well, we're gonna find a lot of things like this, but we need to get these things into this plan so that when the funding does come available, we can jump on it.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
You anything else?
Okay, we're awaiting some other grant awards. The reuse that's coming in June. The Avenue C overflow boat parking, FWC opens February 9th. And you may know more about the TDC funding of that part than we do, but I know that's still out there.
You would think. We're all learning together.
Okay.
The laws changed, new statutes, and it's been a huge learning lesson.
I see.
I have a packet about this thick for Courtney to have fun with.
All right.
We'll try to make sense of it together.
Okay. All right, and that's all I had for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now time for our advisory board reports. Ms. Tamara, do you have anything for us?
I think I had to go to Tallahassee today and didn't think I'd be back in time for the meeting, but since I got back, I had to come anyway. I got Ms. Courtney to hand out the little flyers or the big flyers for the talk. The museum has one of its annual history talks at Sea Quarters Marina on Saturday morning. And we have a really interesting fellow from the state of Missouri. He's from their state museum. And he has a special talk he does on the Louisiana Purchase and what he calls it, French, Spanish, and British years, and how that resulted in what became an exceptionally American Florida. So I think it's going to be very interesting, and he's well thought of in his state, and they're sending him to do this. So I think that's pretty remarkable as well. And then, as you probably know, there's a whole lot of other stuff going on Saturday, so we expect to see a lot of travel people coming in to go to that and the other activities that are happening around the city and around the county. Our big thing is Courtney had on the agenda was to get the roads closed in preparation for the Carrabelle Culture Crawl. And we're looking forward to that for March 28th. And we've had a very good response to our early request to people to come and be a part of that. And again, this year we'll have the car show, the music stand, the music tent, and then we'll have people demonstrating crafts and arts and showing people how to do them. We try to find older type crafts that people have done for years and have that become available. And we have authors signing their books. So that's kind of what we're expecting, and we certainly want you all to come out and be a part of that. But I think the talk will be good on Saturday. Anybody have any questions? Thank you. If you haven't seen the bottle exhibit at our museum, it's still up we're working on the one about the mayors, and that'll be our next exhibit. That'll stay for 3 months, and we'll be taking the bottles down. But the bottle exhibit's been remarkably successful. Everybody seems to, a lot of folks never saw a Coke bottle with the name of a town on the bottom of it. People from all over the country said, I've never seen a Coke bottle with my name of my town on it, or our main town in our state. And I thought they all had them back in the day, but I guess that wasn't so. But in the South, that was definitely a very popular thing. But we have some fascinating bottles that were prohibited back in the 1907 because they used the word cure on the bottle, and we're no longer able to call something a medical cure. They called them all kinds of other things, but not a cure. So this country started saying things, but those things had chloroform in them. Oh, they had cannabis in them. They had cocaine in them. They had all kinds of things that we now think of as illegal drugs, but they were very much a part of the famous cures that happened back in the 1800s. So we figured they might not have cured you, but you wouldn't care much. You know.
Cured your care.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Tara. Hey, Steve, do you have a report from the lighthouse?
For the record, I'm Steve Allen, representing the Crooked River Lighthouse. Got a couple of things. Am I on?
You're on.
A couple of things. First of all, I want to thank you for the special consideration. We did not know that we were going to have an opportunity to speak to you before our event. I think one of the best decisions we've ever made was to move the Crooked River Festival from last week when it was cold and windy to this week when it's going to be beautiful out there. I kept imagining vendor tents and antique cars all in one big pile, and that would not have been good. And besides, we would have all been miserable, and we want everybody to have a good time. So thank you for that consideration. I'll do a little bit of announcement of a couple of things toward that event. It's from 10 to 4, the expanded country market. We have 40-ish plus vendors, which is great. It will be packed. I don't know how many cars, but I suspect we're going to have more cars than we've ever had up there in terms of the antique classic cars. After you get through going to the lecture, after you get through going to the lecture, I better watch it. Then you can stop by and see some of the antique cars, the classic cars. We have some food trucks, Mama's Catch, which I think is fish tacos, and Lynx, which is a gourmet sausage with craft beer. And we'll have some awards. It's a voting car show, so you get to select sort of your favorites, and one of them Tim Keith Lucas came up with was, I called it the AAA award on TV this morning in Tallahassee. It's the idea of what car is most likely to not make it home without having some roadside assistance. And so there's some sort of tongue-in-cheek pieces to that, and we have a band and popcorn climbs and all the things that we normally do, and everybody's been working hard to put that together. We've had some work being done in terms of work on the ship and the retaining wall by our team, and we're waiting on George to pour concrete, and that's going to come real quickly, so we're making progress on that. We also have a Duke Energy grant that is in the works. It's sort of along the same lines as the infrastructure grants that we've been getting through the TDC. So we have a whole group of projects that we're working on that as well. And then finally, I'll slow down. Finally, you tabled the contract piece. We are working on that. We will be gathering up. We're just busy doing the lantern, the festival, but we'll gather those up and bring them over to Courtney and talk about that. So we'll probably be ready by next month for that. So thank you for your patience. Any questions? Excellent. See you there.
Thank you. Okay, next is our public hearing for Resolution 02-2026, and I will turn it over to Mr. Hartman.
All right. I will read the ordinance. You all tell me if you care to do it in a different order, but I'll read the ordinance and then explain what we're doing, and you all can make a decision on it. Resolution. So this is Resolution 02-2026, and it's a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Carrabelle designating the city clerk as the administrative official responsible for approving with conditions, or denying a proposed plat or replat pursuant to Section 177.071 Florida statutes, providing for findings, providing for an effective date. Whereas the City of Carrabelle is a Florida municipality duly incorporated with all the rights and powers as provided in Section 2B, Article 8 of the state constitution. Whereas the City of Carrabelle has established its own planning department for the purpose of receiving and coordinating the processing of plat applications under Chapter 177, Part 1, Florida statutes associated with development in the City of Carrabelle. Whereas the city recognizes that the recently adopted revisions to Section 177.071 requires municipalities to designate by ordinance or resolution an administrative authority to receive, review, and process the plat or replat submittal, including designating an administrative official responsible for approving with conditions, or denying the proposed plat or replat. Therefore, be it resolved by the City Commission, City of Carrabelle, Florida, that Section 1, the city designates the city planning department as the administrative authority to receive and perform the initial review of plat submittals, and the city clerk as the administrative official responsible for approving with conditions, or denying the proposed plat or replat. And then Section 3, an effective date. This resolution shall take effect upon its adoption by the City Commission and signature by the mayor. So last year, the Florida legislature passed an amendment to Section 177.071, and what that amendment did was, it changed basically how plats are, the process by which they're approved. So instead of coming before a legislative body, instead of coming before the City Commission or planning and zoning, they are administratively approved. And what that means is they still need to meet all of our plat criteria. So the road widths and all the details, our development standards, all those still need to be met, but they are reviewed only by staff now. So it's really the legislature, and again, they've done, over the last couple of years especially, they've been real aggressive to kind of streamline permitting processes and basically take away powers from local government, right? And this is one of them. So this is what the statute was changed to do. And it's caused, I've followed a lot, I've asked county attorneys, city attorneys, planners all over the state, caused a lot of confusion, but we haven't had a new plat application during the while this has been changed. But And now I know it was just recently withdrawn. I was contacted by the engineer. Keisha and I have talked about it. We had someone interested in trying to do a plat on some property on Gray Avenue, and we can't do it the old way. We have to follow the law. So we need to, that's the reason for this resolution, is we need to get in place the administrative official that would sign the plat, the planning department, which is also Keisha, to receive the plat, review the plat. We have timelines in the statute. It gives you 10 days to identify deficiencies in the plat, advise the applicant of those, and say, hey, you need to fix this, this, and this. Send them back to the drawing board. That includes our engineer, right? Because we'll receive one, we'll send it on to Russell for review of some of the technical aspects and all this. So it puts local governments kind of under the gun to move quickly on these plat applications as far as providing feedback on them. But since we don't have, we haven't identified the official that would sign the plats. It used to be the mayor would sign the plat, but that has changed.
After it came to the commission.
Exactly. Commission would review it, vote on to approve it, authorize the mayor to sign it. The mayor would sign it. I would sign it. It would, just for legal sufficiency, it was a whole process. Well, they've changed that process. So that's what this is about. And certainly hit me with questions.
Okay, I have a question. What do we charge now for an application for a plat or replat submittal?
That was something I was gonna bring up. We're gonna need to restructure that,
Yes.
and maybe some extra compensation on my behalf.
We can discuss. Are there any limitations to what we can and can't charge? I know some things it says you have to charge a flat fee and they have to be notified up front. Other things we can charge based on the amount of workload it entails. Like if we have to get Mr. Russell involved and it's 3 days of work, it shouldn't cost the same as something easy peasy that Keisha can just look at and sign off on.
So let's, and we can bring that back to you at the next meeting as
Okay.
far as a fee schedule. We'll talk to Russell about it. My initial thought, and again, I want to hear what Russell has to say, what Keisha has to say, is size of the plat, right? I mean, there's that would be part of it. The road system, stormwater, there's all kinds of things that some of them, if it's 6 lots on an existing roadway and they just draw rectangles down to the road, stormwater's not really an issue. Might not be an issue. But other ones, would have a lot more analysis, a lot more work
Right.
from the engineer. And what I'll do is look, and Russell will have some ideas, I'm sure. I won't put him on the spot now, that can we just ask for reimbursement, direct reimbursement of the cost of, we send it off for engineering review. If he spends 4 hours, they are paying for his 4 hours of time at this rate. We let him know that up front. And there's a fee, an application fee, which would cover Keisha's time. We determine that. But we'll give you some options and you
Okay.
all decide at the next meeting.
That would be
Because right now
perfect.
we have a flat fee plus we charge an additional fee for Russell's time. But I do have one waiting to be signed right now. The Pickett's addition, it's went through preliminary plat through the steps, but now that they're finished, now it has to go to this type of.
The new way.
That's a good point. Yeah, you mentioned that one. So this resolution would authorize that one. And again, it's an administrative review process.
Like you said,
but-
laws keep changing and we have
Yeah.
to just keep adapting and.
So they already received preliminary plat approval from the commission, but years ago.
Yes.
And the question is going to be, it'll be Russell to compare their final plat application with their preliminary plat application, see if there's differences. They need to explain those differences if there are. Sometimes there are as-built, they move the road a little bit to get out of a wetland or something, it's fine. Russell would look at that, compare the two. If it's, in a perfect world, they're the same, then Keisha, you would be authorizing Keisha to sign that plat. And then they would proceed. They'd have lots of record then.
I don't know that this one in particular is gonna maybe be on that same timeline because of how long ago they they initially came because it's taken them, I believe it was 2018 is when they started this, and now they're just now getting to where they, oh, we need our plat signed now, you know, and it's like, hold on now, you know, hold on. So, and me and Russell have been going back and forth already on that one, but we do need to get it, you know, turned around.
Today, we're just making a motion on allowing Keisha to be our person.
Yes,
But we
so
still
the
have a lot more
resolution-
discussion on this to go.
So I would say 2 steps, right? The first step is who is our administrative official that will approve plats or not approve or approve with conditions, deny them. And again, the way it's drafted, that would be Keisha, because she is typically the one to receive them, and she's the point of contact, and she's experienced with it. Then step 2 here would be, and it sounds like we actually have it in place pretty good right now, meaning we might have to increase the application fee for the plat to cover this kind of quicker timeline and everything else on the city's expense side, but then they're already on notice that they have to pay the engineers rate at whatever we tell them the rate is.
Well, and that application is also from, I believe, 2007, so it probably needs to be looked at.
So we'll update
again.
at that application, and you all can approve it, or give input on it if you want to approve it
Perfect.
at the next meeting.
Okay, perfect. Do we have any other questions or comments?
I do, but I don't have a choice.
So, I'll go ahead and make a
Make it
motion to,
Courtney.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve Resolution 02-2026.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Pedrick, second by Commissioner Walden. Is there any other discussion? All of those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries.
And can we put the fees and all on the agenda for next month?
We just had to get this one
Yeah.
done because we've got one waiting in the wings, so
And it's already a state law, so,
and they've already paid their fees and stuff, so that one's done.
okay, thank you. New business, item number 1, approve, disapprove road closure for Camp Gordon Johnson Parade. I believe Ms. Courtney has some information on that for us.
Camp Gordon Johnson Parade is going to be March 14th. This one is an agenda item because we do have to apply for an FDOT permit to close the road, and they want the minutes and see where it was on the agenda. So I am asking for a road closure for March 14th for Camp Gordon Johnson Parade, and that's usually, we put in from 10:30 to noon, but the parade's only a portion of that.
I will go ahead and motion to close 98 for that day and time frame for the parade.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Pedrick, second by Commissioner Walden. Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? And that motion carries. Item number 2, discussion and possible action concerning renewing the sidewalk easement agreement with Harry's Bar. I believe Miss Kathy's here.
Yes, I'm here on behalf of Harry's Bar. We have closed Marine Street Grill down, and since the closure, we have removed, 4 tables and 9 chairs from out front. So I have left only 2 tables and 7 chairs out front, which has cut down tremendously on the amount of loitering after hours out there. We also have put those extra tables in our courtyard. And our courtyard does also benefit the city on our 2 annual events, the Boat Parade and the Riverfront Festival, by providing seating for those vendors who are selling food that they can sit out and enjoy their meal. But the main reason is we want to have a little riverfront view for some of the tourists and things that come in.
And from what I understand, the original agreement, we renewed it for a year and it expired, was it in June? And the agreement was that we would allow them outdoor seating while the restaurant was open. So that's why mentioned that the Marine Street Grill was closed.
Yeah.
Just
And-
as a
and
reminder.
We are actively, advertising to lease that out now. So it's not, we still have our license for the, grill and everything.
Did you have a question, Dan?
I did, I remember working on this back in the day, and it was to allow people to eat,
Right.
outside. So is that still the purpose? Or is it to, I don't know that it was for people to be drinking outside, right? Is that?
It was tied to Marine
It was-
Street
It was
Grill.
tied to the grill, right? Is that?
Right. And the grill is closed at this time, but we are looking at leasing it out here in the very near future.
Okay. So it would still serve the same purpose. It would be the same
Correct.
easement. Yeah, okay.
So, and I know you said that you left 2 tables out, but you plan on leaving 4, right?
I have 4 tables out and 7 chairs. There was 8 tables and 16 chairs.
And personally, I think I rode by there today to look at the tables and chairs, and it's a lot better because on busy times, it does get crowded with all them other tables there. So I know in the proposal, says for the interim 4 tables, but I think I'd like to see only 4 tables out there because it's a lot less crowded and sidewalks are meant for families and all to be able to walk down. So I'm good with the 4 tables, just my opinion.
I have a question for Courtney. Have you had any complaints about the tables and the chairs?
I haven't had any complaints about the tables and chairs. We had some complaints about the loitering at night, that people were loitering outside. So I did speak with Miss Kathy about that, and she was gonna address that issue.
We did, I've already spoke to my nighttime bartenders about that, because that's the only night we're open till 2 a.m. is Friday and Saturday. We close at 11 now on the other days. And they said they have not had to have the law come in since I've spoke to them to try and get the people out by 2. They're keeping the loitering that's outside down to a bare minimum.
No, Mr. Jaden's here, and he could answer whether he's been called out there recently or not. I'm not sure.
I've been out there recently, yes, ma'am. 2 times in the last 2 months. Oh, a month.
Well, I'll go a step further. I like the arrangement that we had. I thought it was working out good with the Marine Street Grill and the number of tables that they had out there. I'm thankful that Kathy has taken the action and removed the tables until the food section gets back in operation. And I was thinking that we might table the agreement until I know there's transition going on down at Harry's Bar and the Marine Street Grill, that we might table it until the transition is complete and they get someone back in the grill. But as far as the tables, the outside seating, I thought it was working out pretty good. I agree with the philosophy. I see outside seating in other areas, and it goes over nice, especially in pretty weather. And when you got a food component there, it works out pretty good. But when it's just alcohol, sometimes it doesn't work out so good. I've been there before myself. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Is we might just want to table the outside seating until they get food going back at the Marine Street Grill in the transition of whatever happens at Harry's Bar, which we have no control over, and Marine Street Grill. But that's my opinion.
I'll give my 2 cents because I'd like to see the table stay, even if it's a short transition period, if we say 6 months, because no smoking allowed in the bar, right?
Not in the bar.
So the only other place is in the pool hall, which is enclosed. So not only, people like looking at the water and all, but it does give people a chance to go outside, sit down, smoke, and instead of having 10, 15 people, standing on the sidewalk and all that. So I kind of like the tables being there. And if it's the food component, if we do a short period and then if they don't get food, then we go back to the drawing board with it. But I'd like to see them stay.
Another thought is they have their courtyard, which is rarely utilized for hanging out. I know one year when you guys first cleaned it up and made it really nice, you had a fire pit out there and people were using that. That was before, I think before there were tables out front. But now it's not being utilized, so that is another option while there is no food to utilize the courtyard and keep.
We are still utilizing the courtyard.
Okay.
I got a question. When you buy a drink in that bar, you're not allowed to take that drink outside, are you?
You are not supposed to take it outside,
So
absolutely
if they,
not. We do not encourage or, tell them that they can take a drink out.
yeah,
It's supposed to be consumed on premises.
that's what I thought. So if they out there drinking, out there at the table, and the city police comes by, they're actually breaking the law, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to get this, what's legal, what's not here,
Yes.
yeah.
Can I ask the attorney a question?
You sure can.
Since, and I think I heard you right, Mr. Attorney, that our current agreement's tied to the Marine Street Grill, to the food, and not to the bar, correct?
Correct.
So if we agree tonight to allow them to keep the 4 tables, or whatever she has out there, was it 4, Kathy?
Mm-hmm.
Then that contract, or that agreement's gotta be changed, because the grill's closed.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We do still serve bar snacks. It's not a restaurant. We do have, all the different bar snacks that we sell.
Any other thoughts from the commission?
Well, I just want to say, I kind of agree with Mr. Milner that we did approve this for the deli. We didn't approve it for the bar. So if we leave it out there where the bar's open and the deli's closed, then we're violating what we agreed on, right?
Well, I think this is a new agreement.
That agreement expired months ago.
So it's out.
But, so regardless whether there's food involved or not, if somebody's sitting on the sidewalk drinking alcohol, it's illegal.
That's,
Correct.
Well, I mean, remember this, right? When it was
Right.
a grill, if someone had a beer with their
That was
hoagie,
the point.
they would be out there drinking and eating.
But
and having a good
technically,
time.
technically, under Florida statute, it's illegal because it's on the sidewalk.
But if we're giving them an approachment, it kind
Yeah.
of includes that.
We gave them the agreement to do it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I do believe, again, like food and beverage, I mean, we're getting into, and again, I can look into it, but it's what I guess mentioned at the beginning, right? We don't want, it was intended for folks who want to eat at the grill, and they can have a soda, they could have a beer, they could have a mixed drink, gin and tonic, whatever, go outside, eat at their table on the sidewalk. I don't think that would be illegal. At the same time, right now, it would be, and I hear what Ms. Kathy's saying, that it's, they don't tell people that they can take their drink outside, but to have someone outside, we want to avoid having them out there like smoking with a drink, on the sidewalk. Like that's not what it was ever intended for or approved for. I also hear what she's saying, that they give bar food, so if someone gets some potato chips or pretzels or something and wants to sit at a table and talk outside, I mean, that isn't a problem either. I mean, that's not an issue. They just shouldn't. We're kind of like which is good, like splitting hairs on it. But what I've heard is that there's 4 tables out there now. I think what Miss Kathy, and she can tell me if I'm wrong, is looking for here is if they're trying to lease that space out, they want to be able to tell a tenant, potential tenant, hey, this is what you're getting. 7 tables outside, in addition to whatever's inside, to serve food and everything else, so they can size their kitchen and everything else. That's totally understandable. And what I'm hearing now is, though, they have 4 outside tables that are being used by people if they want to go out and smoke. We're not saying drink, but I can do the agreement or we could redo the agreement to be 4 tables outside until it's leased. We can put in there expressly no drinking outside. And then if it is leased out, the grill is opened back up, then, and I heard Commissioner Pedrick, obviously, but this will be for the commission to decide, do we let them increase the number of tables to accommodate more food service or not? Go from 4 to 7 or keep it at 4, whatever.
My thought is, instead of having our city attorney go back and forth on this, and y'all chime in, let me know what you think. Table this like Mr. Millender suggested until you guys get a lease on the grill. We preliminarily agree to re-sign the agreement we had before. As it stated, as long as the food establishment is open, we'll match the hours for the outside seating exactly the way we had it before, so that you can advertise that in your advertisement for the lease of the grill and let them know that the city has agreed to this before. They've preliminarily agreed to it again once the food establishment is back open. And then we don't have to keep going back to the drawing board and redoing the agreement and changing things. And
That makes a lot of sense. So we can basically just renew the old agreement once they have a tenant.
exactly.
Yep, that's simple.
Thank you.
I'm gonna throw one more wrench in there just because I have a question.
Of course you are.
Yeah, well, my thought is just to be done with it, we could do the agreement and put in there, only if the grill's open. So we're done with it. They don't have to come back. If that's what we're going to do, make it, so only if the food establishment is open. And then if they find a tenant, they don't have to come back. It's already done.
That's up to you guys.
What about it, Mr. Attorney?
What would you prefer as the attorney?
You know what, and I should pull it up, is looking at the agreement. I want to say the hours, were the hours.
I think it was till like 11.
Yeah, so the hours of operation are the same as the grill. That means the
Right.
people are outside.
That's what it
So
said.
we probably should, wait for the tenant to tell us, what are your hours of operation?
I'm gonna make a motion that we table this until Marine Street Grill is back in operation, because I'm all for the tables. I already said that. That was me, not Commissioner Pittman. But anyway, I'm all for the tables, and I think to try to reduce the complication, as the mayor stated, for both the owner of the bar and the grill and the commission here, table it until the grill is leased, and then we'll accommodate you. That's my opinion.
Now, my question is, does that mean I have to move the remaining 4 tables?
Is that right?
It would, the old one's outdated, so they would have to be removed.
But it's been that way since June, is what they just said. So I'm trying not to say things here.
Yeah.
And I agree, the ball got dropped in June. I don't know, I was not working as a manager there at that time, which I am now, working part-time, helping manage the bar.
I'm really,
The package. And, so that's the reason I got put on the agenda to come before the board, so that I could get us back legal and in good standing with the city.
You're still in good standing.
I beg your pardon?
You're still in good standing.
I appreciate what she's doing, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, we do have a motion on the table to table until the grill is open. Would anyone like to entertain a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. That's a motion by Commissioner Millender, a second by Commissioner Walden. Any further discussion?
Are we not gonna say
Go ahead.
yes or no on her 4 tables and just let it?
Would you like to address it?
Actually, go ahead and wrap up
Give me a minute, yeah.
go ahead and wrap up the motion, and then I have a comment on that. I think
Okay.
will solve it.
All right. All of those in favor? Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, that's,
Now I'm gonna make a motion that we,
you got that, Keisha?
Commissioner Patrick was the only
Nay.
nay.
Yes.
And Commissioner Miller, before you say that, let me throw one thing at you, is the agreement requires insurance.
correct.
That area be covered by insurance that names the city as an additional insured. So if that plays any part in your motion.
It is. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Can I ask something real quick? It's very
Go ahead.
pertinent to this. Do you know if you currently still carry insurance on that as you did before?
I do not, I would have to ask Kim Wallace, she's the one who handles that.
And I'm gonna go ahead and still make my motion. I'm gonna make a motion that we, give temporary approval for the 4 tables with proof of insurance.
All right, and I will get that to Keisha, is that who I provide that proof to?
One of them.
Either one of them.
Yeah, one of them.
Okay, I will
Okay.
get with Kim on that tomorrow.
With proof of insurance. You got that, Keisha?
And the last agreement was with Carrabelle Beverages, so I don't know if that's the bar.
It was under Carrabelle Beverage, LLC.
Okay, and that motion was by Commissioner Millender for temporary approval of the 4 tables with proof of insurance, proof of current insurance.
I second that motion.
Okay, and that's seconded by Commissioner Walden. Any discussion?
Can we define temporary?
Yes, exactly. I thought about that, Commissioner. I should have added that to my motion. I really hope that, of course, I hope that for any of our businesses, I hope they get that squared away, but that's beyond our control. I would like to include on my motion that the temporary be until June 30.
2026?
Correct. And if Commissioner Walden could second that.
I second it.
Okay, any other discussion?
Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you for doing what you did, Kathy.
All of those in favor? Any opposed? And that motion carries. That one was tricky. Okay, we'll move on to old business. Item number 1, discussion and possible action concerning adding boat storage as an allowable use in C1 zoning. And as some of you know, we've had multiple workshops on this and gone back and forth and from one end of the city to the other. I don't think we've come to a full agreement for everything, but I believe the biggest thing we still needed to decide was the area in which we were okay with the C1 allowing boat storage. C1 already allows RV and camper storage, but no boat storage. And we had discussed it only being at the west of the bridge. And then some of us were okay with it being from, was it 7th Street? 9th Street to the end of C1 zoning to the east. Is that correct? Did I say that right? Along Highway 98. None on Marine Street. This would just be on Highway 98.
Can you say that again? So where would it be allowed?
So the question that we needed to decide, I think we were split on. Some wanted it only to the west side of the bridge, the other side of the bridge. They didn't want to see it over here. And then some were okay with seeing it over here from 7th Street.
Ninth.
But the thing is, it was talking,
Ninth.
the reason you're saying 7th is P and Z talked about
Yeah.
7th. And
That's
actually,
correct.
according to I drove around today, so there, I mean, that is up to you all to
Right.
decide if, number one, if you want it east of the bridge. Number two, if it's east of the bridge, where is the line?
Right.
You know, so.
Well, I think we're okay at 9th east, off of Highway 98.
9th Street became an option because the blocks changed.
Right.
And are deeper and the alley directions changed to make the visibility less from 98 of the storage.
Exactly.
Versus those blocks on 7th Street that run side to side instead of north to west, or north to south.
And do you guys want me to go over the things we did agree on, just for record? Or do we want to discuss the area?
I think the only where we disagreed was on the east side.
Right.
9th Street this way. We were like two of us for, two against.
The map.
Gray wasn't here that day. So,
I'm gonna make a motion if I can.
yeah.
I'm gonna make a motion, and I'm repeating what I've said in a couple of meetings now, over and over. And we had this discussion since I've been on the board, once before. And it was unanimously decided that we would continue to keep boat storage west of the Carrabelle Bridge at past meetings. And since our last meeting, and I know I'm not gonna be popular with that lady right there, but I still love her anyway. But anyway, I looked at all the areas that we talked about right in here, and I looked at areas west of the Carrabelle Bridge that were available, which included part of Airport Road, different areas. There, if someone wants to do boat storage, like what was done in East Point or in Wakulla County, there is ample property west of the Carrabelle Bridge for boat storage to be built, and not on top of Caraway Bay or the other developments there. There's quite a bit of high ground. It was stated at the last meeting, most all that was low ground. There's some low ground, but very little. Most of it is good high and dry pine land. So anyway, with all that being said and a bunch of other things, I'm gonna make a motion that we continue to keep boat storage west of the Carrabelle Bridge.
When you say continue to keep,
We don't have it.
allow it at all right now.
That's correct. Okay, or keep boat storage west of the Carrabelle Bridge. And that's what, like I said, that's what was discussed since I've been on this board a long time ago.
Would anyone like to entertain a second? Going once? Going twice? What does that mean, Dan?
Motion
It
dies.
dies, I like it, so.
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay,
I would make a motion to add boat storage as a special exception west of the bridge and from 9th Street to the city limits on the north side of 98.
okay, hold on. West of the bridge and from 9th to city limits on the,
North,
Both sides or
just the north side, this side.
but I mean on west of the bridge or all?
West of the bridge on both sides. 9th Street, the city limits, north side.
So which 9th Street? West,
the one closest to here.
the one closest to you. That's not west.
Correct. Including all the other stuff that was included at the workshop, all the conditions.
I think when we bring it, I know we did this
You wanna do
conditions.
this one at a time?
Yeah, let's do the area first and conditions separate.
What I'll do is, I got all my notes from the last meeting.
And
If
I-
you all provide this direction, I'm working on a draft, I'll finish it, because this provides everything. And then you guys will review it.
Okay.
Match it up with your notes, your thoughts, we can tweak anything, but then we can move ahead with the ordinance to amend C1. So you don't, as much as you want to go back through things, of course, but the things that are settled, we got them. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Pedrick that would allow a special exception for boat storage, the west side of the bridge, both sides of Highway 98 and C1 zoning. Okay. And then from 9th Street east to the city limits on the north side of Highway 98. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what, west? That's not west.
East.
The east, I'm sorry.
East.
That's east, yeah.
Right here. Can we ask what that looks like? What does that mean, boat storage?
So, I mean, it depends on how someone would want to design it, but we set about a 7 or 8 different specifications of lot size, the structure, and what size the structure there needs to be, the setbacks from Highway 98, what kind of lighting we wanted to see, what kind of storage would be allowed there, like no hazardous materials. Right now, someone could open an RV storage anywhere in C1 zoning. And it could, I mean, we don't have too many rules and requirements on that other than setbacks and things like that. But those are some things that we discussed for allowing boats in that storage also.
So when you would come in our town, I was the one who was talking about what our town looked like. When you come in our town, now you're gonna see buildings with boats. Is that, like the kind that go in, how they have the lift, take the lift? Or you're just gonna see boats stacked up with razor wire like we see?
That's what you're gonna be seeing.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna see boats on trailers parked in a vacant lot.
We did discuss what kind of fencing.
So,
Hold on. Yes, we have a motion on the table. Would anyone like to entertain a second?
This is on,
This is for the west side of the bridge, and then from 9th Street,
I'll second it. Vance's,
only on the north side of 98.
I'll second Vance's.
Okay, that's second by Commissioner Walden. Now we can discuss.
And we need to be orderly and please come to the microphone
Yeah.
when you're called by the mayor.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, Steve.
So this special exception allows it to be done on both, in those locations, but the final decision comes before the board, right? So if something comes before the board that doesn't meet the standard that the board as elected officials decide is appropriate, then it can be denied just because y'all don't like it.
Well,
No.
it's a little more technical than that.
Well, you can decide that it doesn't fit, it's not congruent with our community. I mean, if that's part of,
There's more to it than just where it's at. This is the 4th or 5th meeting we've discussed this at. This is just my notes from the last one, just on this topic. So, and these are just what we agreed to. That would be in the,
special
is it a
exception.
resolution or?
In the ordinance.
In the
amending
ordinance.
C1.
So you'd have
This would be a whole-
standards. You're gonna have
exactly.
standards
For
that
land
say
size,
it
for
has to have a
structure.
roof on it, or if it has to have this, or a fence
Yeah,
around it, or a protection.
We discussed
or
all those things.
landscaping, or whatever else.
Okay, I'll go over everything. So land size, we discussed it needs to be at least an acre. For the structure, it needs to have a structure on the property. And we discussed a couple different things, but maybe 25% of the land has to have a coverage or some structure on it. And then we discussed some square footage also, so that's what we want. It will have to have a structure on it. It won't just be a vacant piece of land with boats all over it, or RVs or whatever. it has to have a base. So it has to have maybe lime rock or the shelling, or some type of base. A suitable base material is what we said. It has to have secure fencing, and we suggested a vegetation buffer between other properties, but we didn't nail that one in, but it needs to have secure fencing. The setbacks, the setback for Highway 98 it has to be 25 feet from Highway 98, which is the same as any commercial property. Lighting, we suggested that the arc of visibility cannot encroach the neighbor's property. Because if you have any kind of storage, you want it to have lighting for security reasons, but you don't want it to be like a beacon out there annoying your neighbors. And then they wouldn't be allowed to store fuel or any other hazardous materials. And those are the things we agreed on. The only thing we couldn't agree on was where this would be allowed. And that's kind of what we're trying to figure out tonight. And if any of you have anything to say, you're welcome to speak on it now.
I do have a speaker card from Ms. Paige Joseph.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and let her.
Is it on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Paige Joseph, I am a residential and commercial property owner in the city of Carrabelle, as well as a full-time resident and a business owner here of multiple businesses. And the motion that is on the table, I'm in full support of. You guys know I've been to many of the meetings, from P&Z to City Commission to all the workshops. And I just feel like this section of the town needs something. We do. We're already allowed to do storage and already allowed to do campers. As of right now, the way the zoning does sit, and some of the concerns from the public is that the look of it.
Mm-hmm.
And adding this exception is, and right now, if we did do like RVs, there isn't a lot of guidance that says, I can't do this or you can't do that. But adding the special exception and allowing boats to be a part of these businesses that are doing storage and RV storage and those things is given a lot more criteria for that property owner to have to uphold to. So, and it also makes us have to come in front of the board, give a business plan, give a plat, and give a design, and those kind of things to be able to get the special exception, and then the permit after that to be able to do so. That I think this is going to really tailor and give an opportunity for you guys to have a lot more say-so as far as what these up-and-coming businesses are going to look like. I know there's a concern of dilapidation through the city and just dirt lots and trailers sitting out and things like that, and that's not really what this ordinance is about. I feel like you guys have took so much time and spent a lot of effort and caring into what goes into this and what's approved and what's not, and I appreciate that. And I also, like, we spoke before about, like, some people from the community has expressed that they didn't want it in the city and not here and not there and those kind of things. So, like, I'm all about accountability. Like, I went out and said, okay, am I looking at this from a perspective that doesn't just benefit me? Does it benefit the community? Is it a need that we have here in the city? And the answer was yes, time and time again. So, like, I went out and I asked people from different demographics, different ways of life, different age divisions. I went from property owners, not just residential, but also business owners that were from 7th Street back, because that's originally what we were talking through P&Z. And time again, like, they were even willing to come to the meeting tonight to say, I'm in support of this. They live at this end of the county or of the city. They have businesses at this end of the city, and they were all like, yeah, I'm perfectly, we need stuff down here. So I appreciate the motion. I'm in full support of it, and there's nothing really that I've been able to find negative to it, as long as we stay like at the 9th Street division where those blocks do get longer. You have much more of a sight barrier from 98 than you do if it was somewhere closer into the core of town. I think this is a perfect area.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to add anything or ask any other questions?
The only thing I'd ask is, right now, I can go buy an acre next door and put 100 RVs in it with nothing on it, and there's nothing that the city could
Exactly.
do. So I think doing this and putting, guidelines on it is in the best benefit for the city.
All right, well, we do have a motion and a second. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
And that motion carries. You got that, Ms. Keisha? All right, and with that, thank you all for coming and giving us your input.